We now turn for the closing words to Ambassador Janan Mosazai. I think I'm going to just pass it to you, Janan. Janan and I were colleagues in Islamabad. He's had a very distinguished diplomatic career, and he is now working on civil society issues in Kabul. So over to you, Ambassador Mosazai, for the last word.
Well, thank you so much, Rick. I think it's difficult to offer any closing remarks at the end of such a rich and engaging panel, especially with the presence of Mr. Brahimi and all the other distinguished speakers. I will just maybe say highlight a couple of points, given the fact that I probably only have a couple of minutes. One such fact is that past efforts seeking a peaceful settlement in Afghanistan, not only in the 1980s, but also during the 1990s between the different Mujahideen factions and also between the Mujahideen and the Taliban, have largely been failures. And that's mainly because different Afghan sides have tried to monopolize power for themselves and trying to brush other groups aside based on a zero-sum mentality. And this was obviously, as has been pointed out many times, including by Mr. Brahimi, a cardinal sin of the post-2001 political system that excluded the Taliban. Today, as was pointed out, the context is radically different from 20, 30, or 40 years ago. However, we have a situation where the US is on the way out in an unconditional manner. The Afghan government, one domestic side of the conflict, has been prepared for talks for a long time, but the Taliban, on the other hand, wants the Afghan government to surrender. The Taliban have not presented anything by way of a peace plan that envisages a shared future with the existing Afghan government, and more importantly, the Afghan people, which today includes millions of educated young men and women, as was pointed out, across the diverse Afghan population, that does not agree with the Taliban's extreme ideology and who want to stay connected to each other, to the region, and to the rest of the world. And as citizens who want a future of education, freedom, and progress. And as Dr. Sharifi pointed out, Afghans agree not only on peace, but also on living in a civil society. And yes, as Mr. Brahimi pointed out wisely, peace needs time in Afghanistan. However, given the state of play right now, where we have escalating levels of violence on one hand, and near total deadlock on the negotiations front on the other, and giving the looming deadline of US complete withdrawal by September, a sense of real urgency and must be brought to bear on efforts to jumpstart the negotiations track. And that's where the role of the region, the United States, the European Union becomes key, and they all have influence over the domestic sides, but also on the region. One point that wasn't highlighted, but I think I will mention it, is the necessity of a mediator, an effective mediator, and that's where the role of the UN becomes key. But obviously, the UN will need a clear mandate and a strong support from the UN Security Council to make sure that this time around, the UN's role does not end in failure as it did during the Geneva experience, and that we have strong and firm regional and international guarantees for an Afghan peace settlement. With that, I would like to join my USIP colleagues and colleagues of the Kakar History Foundation to thank all our participants for a fantastic conversation today, and invite participants and viewers to read the books that are available for free download from the websites of the Heart of Asia Society and the Kakar History Foundation. And with that, I wish all of you good health and a great day, a great morning, a great evening, wherever you are. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Ambassador.